The USS Enterprise is dispatched to investigate the Class M planet Nibiru. What began as a mission to research and monitor the planet's people evolves into a quest to save the world from a volcano that has the ability to destroy the planet and all life on it. Captain Kirk and Dr. McCoy are on a peacekeeping reconnaissance mission to the planet when it is imperiled. They must next make a beeline for the Enterprise, which is docked underwater. Simultaneously, Spock has been lowered inside the volcano by cable to install a cold fusion device that will stop the explosion. Spock's cable splits due to the massive quantity of ash thrown into the air and the high heat created, and he crashes in the volcano, surrounded by lava. Sulu and Uhura are forced to return to the Enterprise in their shuttlecraft. Kirk spends little time once aboard the Enterprise in attempting to reintroduce Spock. In fact, Spock is more concerned with respecting the primary mandate of the United Federation of Planets, which is not to be seen or heard among fledgling civilizations. In fact, the reverse occurs. Kirk and Uhura go to great lengths to save Spock's life. In defiance of the Prime Directive, Kirk leads the Enterprise out of concealment and into the volcano, where they beam Spock back aboard. Uhura is relieved that Spock has returned safely, but Spock is upset that Kirk purposely broke the rules rather than surviving. Kirk tries to play up the notion that the Enterprise was no big thing to the budding civilization. He has no idea that the society has begun to idolize the Enterprise and her crew. Kirk is relieved of command after being summoned back to Earth, and Admiral Pike takes command of the Enterprise. Admiral Pike, enraged, probes Kirk for breaching the rules and regulations. During the discussion, Spock discloses that while Kirk filed a report in his captain's log that skewed the facts, Spock's report was considerably more honest. Kirk is demoted and must return to Starfleet Academy. While drinking whiskey to numb his emotions, Kirk is accosted by Pike, who delivers him a speech about how Kirk must fight for what is essential. Pike believes Kirk has to learn a crucial lesson as a captain and reminds Kirk that he was the one who recruited Kirk, and Pike was recruited by Admiral Marcus. Shortly after, with the cooperation of a Starfleet member, Starfleet secret agent John Harrison blasts a Starfleet archive location in London, having tricked a Starfleet officer into slipping the bomb into the facility in return for treating his ill daughter. As Pike's first officer, Kirk attends an emergency conference with high-ranking officers at Starfleet headquarters. Moments after Kirk finds that Harrison appears to have blasted a non-vital Starfleet facility, Harrison attacks the gathering in a tiny Federation gunship. Kirk destroys the gunship, but Harrison escapes by transferring himself to an unknown planet, and Pike is killed. Admiral Marcus orders Kirk to track down Harrison, who has fled to the Klingon homeworld Konos after Pike's burial. Because Konos is deep in Klingon territory and the Federation is on the verge of war with the Klingon Empire, the Enterprise is given 72 long-range prototype photon torpedoes and instructed to fire them all at Harrison's position once he is located. Admiral Marcus restores Captain Kirk to command of the Enterprise. Kirk agrees, but only on the condition that Spock be reinstated as his first officer. He then informs Kirk and Spock that London is more than simply a museum. Section 31 was the code name for a top-secret branch of Starfleet. The primary objective of Section 31 was to investigate Klingon technology and create new capabilities to defend Starfleet from the Klingons. The Section 31 strike severely harmed Starfleet's ability to defend itself. Admiral Marcus feels this was a hostile act. Kirk is promoted captain, and Spock is rehired as his first officer. On the journey to the Enterprise, Kirk is irritated by Bones' medical tests, and he and Spock resume their argument regarding the Nibiru expedition. Because he believes the new photon torpedoes would endanger the ship, Chief Engineer Montgomery Scott refuses to accept them and presents his resignation when Kirk orders him to. Carol Marcus, the Admiral's daughter, joins the crew under a fake name, and Pavel Chekhov is promoted to Chief Engineer. The Enterprise's warp core fails route to the Klingon homeworld, leaving the ship stranded in space near Konos. With repairs underway, Kirk, Spock, and Uhura sail to Konos in a previously commandeered commerce ship that they had confiscated. They are forced to land after being identified by Klingon patrol ships. Despite Uhura's efforts to negotiate, the Klingons prepare to murder the group when they are attacked by an unknown individual. After annihilating the majority of them on his own, the assailant exposes himself to be John Harrison. He confronts the landing team, but surrenders after realizing how many torpedoes are aiming at him. Kirk violently beats him for Pike's death, but Harrison shows no signs of pain or injuries. Back on the Enterprise, Harrison reveals his true identity, Khan, a genetically engineered human who has been in cryosleep for 300 years after conducting a futile war on Earth to exterminate all those less than himself and his superhuman colleagues. He proposes Kirk examine the 72 prototype torpedoes more closely and provides him with a set of geographical coordinates. Kirk instructs McCoy to disassemble one of the torpedoes and calls Scotty on Earth to examine the coordinates. The torpedoes are discovered to each contain a cryosleep genetically created human, the remaining members of Khan's crew from the SS Botany Bay. Admiral Marcus awoke Khan in order to drive him to use his superior intellect and savagery to manufacture sophisticated weaponry in order to provoke a war with the Klingons while keeping his crew as prisoners. Kirk understands that the Enterprise's warp core has been damaged on Marcus' instructions, thereby ending the clandestine plot to murder Khan. Carol Marcus and Dr. McCoy are dispatched to a distant planet to investigate one of the torpedoes. Dr. McCoy discovers something within the torpedo, a cryo-frozen human, which is why Khan was interested in the torpedoes in the first place. Inside them are 72 of his buddies from the past. Meanwhile, Kirk regains touch with Scotty, whom he informs that he was correct all along about the torpedoes on the Enterprise, that whomever placed them there could not be trusted, and enlists Scotty to find out who planted these weapons on the Enterprise. To the same time, Scotty arrives at Khan's stated coordinates, which are near Jupiter. Scotty discovers a hidden Starfleet shipyard and infiltrates it. Back aboard the Enterprise, the faulty warp core is repaired, but Chekhov advises Kirk not to use it just yet. Soon later, another ship arrives, the USS Vengeance, an unregistered Federation battleship created solely for combat that dwarfs the Enterprise. It is double the size and is intended to be operated by a small crew of one if necessary. Admiral Marcus exposes himself as the ship's captain and demands that Kirk hand over Khan. Kirk disagrees, and the Enterprise warps back to Earth to bring Khan to justice for his crimes. The Enterprise is assaulted in warp by the Vengeance shortly after, ending their escape near the Moon. The Enterprise is badly damaged as a result of being outgunned. Kirk eventually decides to hand over Khan and the 72 frozen bodies in return for the lives of his crew. Marcus refuses, beaming his daughter on board the Vengeance to save her from being used against him. As the Vengeance prepares to attack the Enterprise, a ship-wide power loss occurs, which is triggered by Scotty, who had boarded the ship previously at the secret shipyard. Because the Enterprise's armaments are too damaged to continue fighting, and knowing that Khan designed Marcus' spacecraft, Kirk joins Khan and boards the opposing ship. They rejoin Scotty and cross the bridge. Meanwhile, Spock communicates with Spock Prime in order to learn about Khan's past and how to defeat him. Khan betrays Kirk and seizes command of the ship, wounding Carol Marcus and kills Admiral Marcus. Khan bargains with Spock for Kirk's life and beams the Vengeance's 72 torpedoes aboard. Kirk and the rest of the boarding party are beamed back onto the Enterprise in order to destroy her. Spock explains that the torpedoes beamed to the Vengeance were armed, however the Enterprise's cryotubes remain unaltered. The torpedoes explode, disabling the Vengeance and throwing Khan into a fury since he believes his crew has been slaughtered. Both spacecraft begin their descent towards the Earth's surface. The Enterprise crew manages to halt their ship's descent by sacrificing Kirk's life to realign the warp core, succumbing to radiation sickness in the process. Khan directs the Vengeance's final destination, Starfleet headquarters in San Francisco. The hostile ship collides with the city. After surviving the accident, Khan attempts to flee the carnage, but is chased by an irate Spock, who was with Kirk in his final moments. Meanwhile, Dr. McCoy finds that Khan's blood can bring Kirk back to life. Nora intervenes at the last possible minute to prevent Spock from murdering Khan, and he is captured. Kirk responds favorably to the therapy and is resurrected and returned to active service. Khan has been trapped in a cryotube with the rest of his crew. As the film concludes, Kirk addresses a memorial ceremony 1 year later, after which the Enterprise is rechristened and embarks on a 5-year mission of deep space exploration. The film concludes with Kirk taking the captain's oath and the Enterprise embarking for its next assignment. Subscribe my channel, leave your likes, and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching.